Ladies and gentlemen, how's it going? Once again, I'm Nev from Nev's Tech Bits, otherwise known as your friendly neighborhood basement dweller. Today we're checking out Popular Mechanics, April 1978. What we'd like to do is take a look back and see how technology and society has changed over the decades. A lot of technology's changed really quick, and society has too. Of course, the 70s was the ages of the great outdoors and woodworking, two things that I strongly feel like children these days aren't getting into, or at least young men and women, I should say. I don't know so many people that have a boat. And photography is definitely much different than it used to be. You used to almost have to send off for a community college course or some books and training on how to figure things out before you were able to take a decent picture. But now we all have cell phones that have pictures that perhaps automatically upload the pictures to Xi Jinping over in China. I don't know. Once again, very mundane advertisements like for a Red Wing boot and shavers. Big deal back in the day, I guess. There's always some homemade aircraft in these Popular Mechanics magazines. And Lord knows we always got plenty of lawnmowers, too. Pantella separates. Get away from the herd. Be an individual, and the Whammons will want you indefinitely. I love these advertisements that I love these advertisements that make it clear the one thing everyone wants, not to look like a sheep. Nothing to do with the woman at all, of course. Radialmatic tires, a ride so good it's almost against the law. You got the lawman there checking out the bad guys. Yeah, all about the springs. Those springs are illegal, buddy. Okay. Oh, I love this old stuff. Allstate advertisement. Allstate saved her from being without a car. Allstate's still a thing, right? What do we got here? Oh, yeah, skateboard or flamethrower? Okay. Oh, could you imagine? Like, there's a lot of kickback on those flamethrowers, right? There's no way that he'd be standing on that thing for long. But still, looks like a lot of fun. And up here, the safe bike, but at a price. There's a lot of these automobile looking bike things that never really made it, but are really fun to check out. Naval jelly versus rust. Powerful chemical action. Removes rust quickly. Brush it on, wash it off. Alright. We definitely don't have that so much anymore. I still can't get over the JC Penney battery. Like, if I wanted to get jeans, I go to JC Penney. I'm not so sure about batteries, though. Once again, we got some thirst traps here for me. I love these little build your own crawlers, build your own uh, bulldozers. It looks like a lot of fun to mess around on. Mazda GLC 5-door hatchback. I heard once that hatchbacks actually cost less for insurance because it's easier to save your ass and your balls if you get into an accident, of course. 1987 Ford Bronco. Would love to have me one of those. Never really traveled around in many Ford trucks. Of course, we had a Ford Crown Vic that wasn't really roadworthy. Never really trusted used Fords after that, but that's not really Ford's fault. The new Chevy Nova at $3,702. It's a steal. Oh yeah, the 70s was a real time for inflation, wasn't it? There's still some people that don't know that you can get sets like this to sharpen your chainsaw, Dremel sharpening kits. I mentioned it once and one of my viewers saw it and was like, oh, you can do that? He ordered one right up. That's funny. Give a little, get a lot with the Tessica? Huh. Tasca. That's got to be Tasca. That's Tasca. There are so many brands of RVs that we just simply don't make anymore. 70s must have been the time for travel. Now we all just kind of lock ourselves inside with tablets and TikTok. Ah, Starcraft camper with a little Sheltie. I love Shelties. Actually, that's probably not a Sheltie. That's a Lassie. Whoa, check that out. Fortress Treehouse. Never seen a treehouse quite like that. Wonder how many years that stump would be okay. Because you know, after a certain point, they just kind of fall apart, right? But there's got to be a way to treat that. Man, someone's got a lot of time on their hands to do that, and a lot of love for his kids, too. There was a time when TV repair was a real thing. TVs were unbelievably expensive and it was really good to repair them. But now, man, if your TV breaks, you just go to the store and get a new one. And geez, they're cheap, super affordable these days. Oh, today I learned that you can use your igloo as a personal flotation device. Yeah, yeah, hey, whatever it takes to keep the head above water, right? Breaking things in order to get a safer plane crash. Man, these guys are so lucky. They get to destroy a plane in order to figure out how to make things safer. Some people get all the fun. The super rig, huh? So that's how that stuff gets put together. That would take a lot of time and man work. Real men, too. 30-mile donut to spin out atomic secrets. That's right. A large Hadron Collider look-alike. I knew that they had one of these before the LHC. Get photons spinning around in there. There was a Russian dude that stuck his head in one of those as the photon thing was doing circles, and it moved his face a little bit as the particle went right through him. It went so quickly that it went right through him. And in the here and now, we have roller skates like skis. So I looked at that and then I looked down here and I thought Buddy was using those on his roof in order to clean out the eaves troughs. Not quite, not quite. The ugly duckling that is only ugly to our enemies. Yeah. Yeah, if you see one of those, you know you're in some trouble. Kitchen problem solving. There's one thing I'll always respect Popular Mechanics for, is having these schematics. This is wonderful stuff. The superphone, new ways to make your phone do better. What do we got up here? We have the silencer to give you privacy, prevents interruptions by shutting off the phone's bell. Okay. Sound switch, modular button to take microphone out of circuit. Huh. A compact tone generator. Why not just get a newer phone? ITT's security phone lets you call police, fire department with a push of a button. Remember when that was a big deal? Awesome. Like I was saying back in the day, it was really difficult to use photography. If you didn't have the perfect lighting, your Super 8 video wasn't going to look very good. This looks like we got a old school projection unit right here. Those videos you'd only be able to play for like, what, 13 minutes or something like that, depending on the frame rate you got. But still, it was really cool. Interesting they have a glass table on the inside. Of course, Hank Hill always said, why would anyone want to do drugs when you could just mow the lawn? Look at that guy. That's one happy boy. He's happy with his lawn tractor. Peak performance, man, I wouldn't mind one of those old generators. You can burn damn near anything in them as long as it's oil. I love me some tobacco. I do not smoke, I tell you what, Bobby. And here we have an honest Army Reserve. We'll send you to school full time to learn a part-time job. New diesel pickup. Remember back in the day getting lost and all you had was the old school road map? Stopping to ask for directions was a regular thing. You don't get that so much anymore either. Another RV brand I'm not familiar with. Tioga. Tioga? Tioga. Don't think I've even seen one of these before. Well, that is one interesting old school music box. Jeez. Pretty cool, too. Pretty cool. And on the back cover, we got the Pall Mall. Fancy cigarettes for fancy pinkies up types. And of course, the cover Popular Mechanics, 1978. Man, things have changed. A lot to reflect on, a lot to reflect on. We need to get out more often. I'm definitely thinking that, especially when it comes to the kids. Well, it's a lovely day. Maybe it's time I took my kids out. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for me. Nev from Nev's Tech Bits. Have a good one, and take care of each other. Leave me a like if you like this stuff. Really appreciate it.